To Sam. He's going to introduce his special guest on today. It's a pleasure to have him here with us. Sam, I'll hand it over to you.
Yes, thank you, Rachel, and welcome everyone to the Health and Lifestyle series. Hope you all had a wonderful Wednesday morning, and hope you also enjoyed yesterday's talk on hypnotherapy. And if you wish to contact her, please, you can go on our YouTube channel. We'll be having those talks, and you can get the details from there. The last couple of weeks, we had an insight into the emotional side of our health and well-being with things such as faith and belief. Today, we're having a different tone, something that we care about either now or in the future, and that is finance and success. As an adult, our finances become dominant in our everyday life, whether to buy our house, put food on the table, or to do the things that we want to do. We have made it part of our health and lifestyle. It is important, though, not to let our money run our life. However, without it, we can be limited to what we can do. So today we have our special guest, a good friend of mine who I haven't seen in a long time. His name is Bang, who owns a company called Positive Lending, which won some awards. I think he mentioned to me the top 3 finalists for our fast aggregate in New South Wales, and I'll let him explain that a little bit later. Bang, today, Bang, I'm glad that you can join us. And it's been a long time. And when I got in touch with you again recently, you have grown your business to 3 mortgage broking firms, and that's an accomplishment. Can you tell us what got you into finance and what services do you do?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on here. It's just a privilege to be here. Now, in terms of how I got into the finance industry, it was a bit of a coincidence. I spent 15 years in medical imaging. Wasn't fully satisfied after 15 years, and what I did was I was going out there trying to figure out what's my best move. How do I guess, create wealth for myself, because obviously being in nuclear imaging, you get paid well, but you're just paying the bills pretty much. So the 3 books that I happened to pick up, one was Rich Dad Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes.
First book.
Great book.
Made me realise, okay, main point that came out from that was money's not real. If money's not real, you can make money without money. So what the main tone in that conversation in that book was, okay, look, there may be an opportunity that walks past you, but because your eyes are not trained to look at it, it will move. If your eyes are trained to see it, then what you'll see is arbitrage, which is, okay, well, I might be able to take this, bring it over there without any cost, yet make some money. So that was the first thing that I found from that book. The other one was probably the most important book that I had was written by Steve McKnight, How to Buy 170 Properties in 3.5 years. After reading it, he had a strategy. It's always a case of capital growth or versus cash flow positive. I did an MBA about 15 years ago and always thought positive cash flow was correct. This book, the only difference was this guy had actioned it and I had never done it. So that motivated me to go on my journey of buying properties. And the last book was obviously Donald Trump. Trump's obviously a great motivator. He's a winner. He's always motivating. He talks about how to negotiate and talk big, and most important is like what we were saying before: have some goals, reach it, and then redefine yourself. Life is always dynamic. Just keep moving forward. So anyway, because of that, what I did was I looked at my life. I went, okay, I'm not going to work 5 days a week. I'm just going to work 2 days a week now. You just go out there and buy property. That's all I do.
Right.
So I went 1, 2, 3, just did myself. And then after a while, obviously there's a lot of contracted sales that come through work. And a lot of the doctors were saying, "Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I just explained, "Oh, this is what I'm doing, blah, 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 blah." So what I do is, and this was during the GFC, so prices were, you know, bottom at the bottom. So I was making offers, you know, 3,000 offers a month, you know, at ridiculous prices a bit.
Yeah.
The odd one will take it. The other 2,099 clients would say, "Are you out of your mind?"
Yeah.
So anyway, so I would be able to buy like one a month or something like that. If I had 2 or 3 offers, people who accepted my offers, I would palm it off to the doctors. After a while, most of the doctors were coincidentally with NAB, with the NAB bank. And then after a while, NAB kind of said, "Look, you're actually retaining our clients, so look, we're going to give you a referral fee." We did that for a while, and after a while, obviously regulations change, and the government, I could notice that the government was going after that. And by luck, by chance, my daughter at the time was 1 month old. In Vietnam, we have this big celebration. And my wife's ex-boss happened to be the head of NAB. So we happened to talk, and then literally he just said, "Look, you got to be a broker." And I said, "I can't get to be a broker because I don't have the experience. I'm in medical." So he goes, "Oh, don't worry, leave it with me. I'll fix you up." So that's how I became a broker.
Wow. So from medical into
So it's
finance,
been a bit of a journey. The last 4 years. So, and obviously it's all for the best, and I've really enjoyed my life now, and I
You look the same as I met you. You know,
I'm
10 years ago, man.
No
You
longer
look the
stressed.
same.
No longer stressed.
I know.
And I've got to thank one of the Robert Kiyosaki book.
Yeah, I mean, going back to that book.
Life, money is not real. Money is not real. People think it's real. It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But if you understand that, then you know how to use money to make money. And as long as you understand that, I mean, society embeds us to say, "Oh, look," like Robert says, "Oh, look, we've got to go to school, we've got to memorize everything, we've got to regurgitate. Once we regurgitate it, we get good marks, then we go to uni. Once you go to uni, we get a degree, and it means that we're a slave." But in actual fact, it's called a career. So if you can find success, for me, is if you can find what you're good at, do it.
Yep.
Money will come, but just have a passion for it, and once you're really good at it, you'll strive to be the best.
That's it. I mean, we're going back to that book. There was that 4 quadrant. That's what I can remember from it. And you got the investor quadrant. You've got the business quadrant. The other 2 was the employee, and the other one is self-employed.
That's right.
And the ideal space to be in is to be in the investor and the business quadrant, isn't it?
That's right.
So for those listeners out there, Bang, I'm sure there were times when you decided that you need to be on this side of the quadrant.
That's right.
How did you move from being self-employed? Would you say you'll be self-employed before?
Always working for someone, yes. And then went to investor, and then self-employed.
And then business. So you own your own business now. And I mean, I'm sure there was a turning point somewhere. But what do you think? That would be.
My turning point was, I guess, mainly thing was, I realised that I could do this nuclear medicine for another 15 years. I'll get a decent wage, but I'm not content. In life, you've always got to have goals. I was in commercial previously, like 15 years ago, and then I went back to nuclear medicine, and then I realised that, life is not just about content. You've got to challenge yourself. You've got to reflect on your achievement, and you're going to move forward, and you're just going to keep striving
Keep
for
going,
new.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, obviously, that's the difference between entrepreneur and an employee.
Yes. Yeah.
And then if you look, I mean, I love watching Shark Tank USA.
Yeah, yeah, I love
And
it too.
you know, I use the USA one because obviously their deals are a lot bigger,
Yeah.
large deals, and you see what Mark Cuban says, what the other chap. I can't remember his name at the moment.
Donald Trump.
No, the guy with no hair. The guy with no hair. Yeah, so there's four of them, and they all talk about entrepreneur. And when you see that show, when someone comes presents a case, and this goes back to the books, they see it, the opportunity differently to what a normal employee will see it. The opportunity may have gone by the time you figure it out.
Right. Right. Yep. That's. I mean, just going back to about the Australian market.
Yes.
Okay. How's the Australian market?
Well, I mean,
how's it?
obviously, I'm not an expert. I've got a
Yeah.
few properties, but I mean, I'm not qualified to really say how it is. But
Yeah.
but how I see it is, I mean, New South Wales is obviously doing very well. Melbourne's doing well too. The other three states are a bit lagging due to the mining. With obviously New South Wales, the one thing I've noticed was I read an article where recently we've got 270 odd cranes up. We're the most busiest just behind Dubai. I think there's going to be there's a lot of supply coming on with all these apartments. So I think you need to take a bit of caution. That's what I feel. There are opportunities out there because there's always opportunities out there, but you've just got to be a bit more selective. That's what I believe is. This year, I think there's over 5,000 units that's got to be changing hands, settling.
Yeah.
A lot of people who bought 2 years ago, like foreign investors, they can't get financing. Government's really tightening up on lending practices and policies.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a bit tough. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
I think we'll get through it fine.
I think there's
but
an oversupply of.
I think there may be a bit of a supply issue in terms of there's a lot of coming on board.
Yeah.
But
a lot of new developments.
a lot of developments. Yeah. I mean, if you drive everywhere in Sydney, you see cranes sitting around. So, I mean, prior to this boom, you couldn't see any cranes. So, personally, I think the buyer should take a bit of caution. But of course, as a true investor, better invest than not to invest. So, just got to be careful with what you buy and take a bit of caution.
So what challenges do borrowers have now?
Yeah,
What
a
do
lot
you
of
think?
challenges.
Yeah.
Well, last year at the end of December and most recently 1st of November, government through APRA and ASIC have tightened up a lot of lending practices. You need a higher deposit now. Basically, borrowing capacity is a lot tighter, so you've got to earn a lot more income. And a lot of people who purchased off the plan previously are still thinking of previous regulation. I've had a client today that I made him just realise that the 10% that he put in the property that he's going to settle next month isn't sufficient. He's got to find another $10,000-$20,000 on top. So some people, 20,000 isn't just easy to come by. So it's some people are going to find that it's not just walk in the park and financing now.
Wow. Okay. For those who would like to buy their first home, what do they require, and what's a good starting point?
What a good starting point.
Yeah, what would be a good starting point?
I'd say, look, very simple rule. Just keep it simple. Don't complicate too much stuff. First of all, I mean, like any business, like going back to Robert Kiyosaki's book, lower your expenses. So don't go out and spend the cup of coffee or whatever you don't need. Look at your expenses. Try to minimise it. This will help your savings. Have a goal. Have a plan every year. Refocus on it. Try to save towards that goal. You know, at the end of the day, if you haven't got a deposit, you can't buy. So that's probably, you know, the major thing. Going back, try to live at home as long as you can, save money, lower your expenses. Then again, save it, don't spend it. And then once you have that track record, it puts you in good stead. The other one is focus on your career, focus on producing, obviously, you know, the more income you make, you can borrow more. So focus on your career, do the hard work. You know, at the end of the day, you don't get a pay rise if you don't put hard work. So just knuckle down, just work hard. You know, a lot of people sit back and go, oh, he's making lots of money, but they don't sit back and say, oh, well, he's put a lot of work. He, you know, deserves it because he's worked very hard for it.
Yeah, you get what you put in, huh?
That's right. So I mean, if I was to say something, just those are just keep it basic, keep it simple, just hard work, save, lower your expenses. You know.
Got to revisit that book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I haven't read that for ages, but I can remember, you know, bits of it, and some really interesting points. Well, how does your service differ from other lenders?
My service?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, obviously, essentially, my business came from servicing doctors. Now we've expanded. So my service is a bit of more of a premium product to the clients. So we literally work with the client from application right to the settlement. We hold your hand. We don't make you feel like there's no one looking after you, making sure that right to the end. We don't charge for your service, which is a unique industry. We get paid by the lender. Brokers do this anyway, but we compare through 30 lenders, find your situation, understand what you want to achieve, find the right lender for you, select the right one, recommend to you, then assist you to go by can't assist you, but assist you to get the approval right to the end to settlement. And that's pretty much it. We do all the forms of lending, car leasing, home loans, commercial loans, whatever you need to do. So that's effectively what we do. Also, what we do well is after service. A lot of people just do the loan and run off. We try to account manage. Clients can always contact me. If there's issues, I always tell the client to come back to me instead of go to the bank. I'll try to resolve it. We do little things like get pricing. So every year we'll go back and make sure that you've got the best rates. Alternatively, ideally, I go back to the same lender, trying to get the best rates. If they don't come to the party, then obviously we may look at options to move to another lender. But that's pretty, in a nutshell, what I do.
Yeah. Is there any other goals that you want to achieve through your business? I know you have 3 firms at the moment, and do you want to expand that further?
Yeah, look, we're in the process. We're going to start up a new joint venture with a friend. We're going to be targeting doctors only, so Mac Finance. So we're doing Mac Medical, so just targeting doctors.
Right.
That's one. The other one is obviously I'm in the process of bringing new brokers on board. So we're expanding the positive lending, the name.
Yes.
We've expanded from 1 to 3 within a couple of years. There's a new site coming on board, which is Chatswood. So we just focusing on some expansion at the moment and bringing new staff to the team.
Yes. How can they get in touch with you?
Really easy. You can search me on the website, type in positive lending, or go on True Local, a mortgage broker, at Randwick. Look under Positive Lending. Most of my client reviews are there, and all my contact details are there.
Yes. Okay. Beautiful. Well, let's talk about success in general. Okay.
Yeah.
And I spoke to you the other day to ask you to come here today, and you mentioned that you would love to share and give back to the community. And this is not about getting more clients for you,
Yeah.
because at this point in your life,
Yeah.
okay, all you want to do is just to give back. And but I will provide you details again at the end of the segment
Yeah.
for those who want to get in touch with you. What is success in your eyes, in the eyes of someone who has achieved, what he set out to achieve?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
for me, I see success a little bit different, maybe differently to others. One, I mean, success is a number of factors. First of all, I mean, I've changed my life, I've changed my career. I mean, in terms of salary and in terms of income, I mean, I'm very comfortable. Life, I believe that for me, I set up a goal, I've reached it. In terms of money, I'm happy with where I am now. I don't need to every day try to add another zero, because if you do, you're never going to be happy. For me, it's all like a life balance. So if you've got enough funds to buy, because I see money differently. Money is the opportunity to do things, but money is not power. So when you have enough income to don't think to be able to do what you want with your family, then that's where I think it should be. My thinking is obviously balanced. So I've got to have, be able to. I drive my kids to work, at school, pick them up every day. I spend time with them. Not many dads could say that. I only work, not limited hours, more part time, but still get a good salary. Also, I've got my investments, which is a journey for me. Continuing investing, buying properties. That's what I enjoy. And obviously every year you've got a goal to buy how many properties. Just follow it. And also just I think as a person myself, I think be nice and good to people, and what people think of you is reflective of who you are. So I believe I've got a good personality, and people like me. So that to me is success.
In terms of family, community, is there any goals that you want to achieve?
Family is very simple. Just watch my kids grow up and guide them into and teach them correctly. Be there. Not I see a lot of fathers. They may earn 200,000 and work 24 hours and never see their kids. I want to make more than that, but at the same time, see my kids. When I pick my kids up to school, there's very few dads there. There are mums. I'm the only dad could drop the kids off and sit there for an hour before the bell rings. I go there 1 hour before this bell home time, and I sit there, and then I pick my daughter up. So it's something that I enjoy, and something you can't take away from me.
Were there any let's talk some of the obstacles and the challenges that you had, when you were creating your business?
I mean, creating my business, look, in my case was a little bit, the transition was a lot smoother than most. Obviously, I was just focusing on buying properties. Then NAB obviously gave me a referral partnership, so that business kind of grew in itself. And then when it got to a certain point, I realised there is a business here, and I went out there. The challenge as a business owner is you don't have a paycheck every week. You've got to figure out that, okay, what's coming in. Fortunate for me, I mean, I did an MBA. I used to manage companies, so running a company is in my genes. I'm an entrepreneur, but when we first started, cash flow was a major problem. And as long as you can understand cash flow and understand your expenses, you'll be fine. The other one, I mean, for myself, I'm a natural salesperson, so to me it's not like work, not trying to sell anything. I never try to sell, I just try to educate people. Some other people in brokering, I find that it's very hard for them to find clients because they're trying to sell. And the new guys that I'm bringing on board, sometimes I do tell that they find it hard because they're always trying to sell. You're not selling, the product sells for itself. You're just trying to understand the client's needs and matching it.
Right.
So that's one of the challenges, and the major thing I think is just cash flow.
Cash flow.
Yeah, because you're used to having a paycheck every week.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you don't have it.
Yeah.
You go, oh damn, I can't.
So how did you do it from there? Like from, going from a paycheck and then straight into, you're not getting anything.
Yeah, look, first 6 months was tough.
Yeah.
I actually had made a move when I purchased all this property. My wife was pregnant at the time, so she wasn't even working. Well, we had no income.
Yeah.
And I believed in myself and just went for it. Sometimes in life,
There it is. It's
you got to
belief.
take you got to take some risks,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was a bit of an educated risk because obviously I knew the doctors were behind me, and just went for the opportunity.
Yeah. And also, preparation also leads to the opportunity.
Preparation
as well,
and reality wise, I mean, I provided unique, so I know how to market my business. So the brokering industry tried to have an interview with me for this. Most important is you just got to understand your market. Got to segment your market. Got to see what market is a niche market, and just focus on that little market. Okay. Obviously, when I was doing my studies, marketing is one of my key strengths. Selling is my key strength. So all this seems to be natural to me, but unless you've just brought it out, I realise, okay, well, there's a lot of things that to me it seems natural, but you've got to focus, understand your market, focus on a particular market and target that market. It may be 0.1% of that market, but if you get 100% of that market, it's better than being a jack of all trades, trying to get 1% of the whole market, because no one understands. So my offering to clients is, I'm a solution box solver. So if you've got an issue, you come here and I'll solve the issue. Whereas some brokers like Aussie Home Loans or the others, they focus on interest rates. So they get a different type of client base.
Yep.
I'm not solely focused on interest rates. I'm focused on, have you got an actual problem? If you're just focused on just looking at the $1 to, I generally send, okay, well, go to Aussie Home Loans.
Yep.
They're the ones that.
So that's your competitive advantage.
Yes, my competitor is the knowledge. We
yes.
sell knowledge. We don't sell, and we sell products and the product itself. So I generally, obviously, offer. NAB's been good to me, so I push NAB. But the major lenders, ANZ, NAB, CBA, and all that, because to me, you've got to have a lender that's going to be there with you in the tough times. So, whereas if you focus on interest rates, when the tough times come around, you not be able to refinance to the major lender. So, it's not about all that, and it's all about the bank who understands you, and then will go with you to this journey, because you're trying to grow in yourself. It's not just the home loan,
That's right. Yeah. I guess there's a lot of forecasting. Would you do?
Yes.
Seeing ahead.
That's right. That's right. You've got to figure out how many loans you're going to write. You've got to see how, like you said, cash flow, and forecasting what's the trend is going to happen, and guiding your business through all those obstacles.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is there anything else with I mean, Rachel, do you have any other questions?
No,
Yeah.
I don't have any other questions. It's just
Yeah.
anything you wanna, any last advice you wanna give.
Because I like that with belief. I mean,
Believe, like
it came down to,
as I
you know,
always said, yeah, like our 5 steps is like
Yeah.
as I said to you, and you were right when you said belief. I was like, wow, because
Mm.
and you looked at me straight away. It's funny, it's because
you were
that's
talking about it
I
the
was
other
talking
day.
about, and that's what I always try and preach. And exactly what you said, success to everyone is different. And the way you see success is the way I think that everyone should, because everyone's success, with me, my success is just to have a house, have a car, have food on the table, and that's it. As long as I have that and my family's okay, I don't need $1,000 in my bank.
Yes.
I just need to be met for my family to be okay, have a house, have a car, have food on the table, and whatever comes after
Yes.
is a bonus.
That's
That's my success.
And it goes back to, I mean, what I was saying, money is not power,
No,
and
it's
it's
not.
the ability to
It's
give
the-
you
what you
opportunity.
do with it.
Yes,
It's
it
what
gives
you
you
do with
opportunity.
the money.
You may want to buy a car,
Yeah.
but you don't have to. You've got the money there, but
That's
you,
it.
you may. So it gives you an opportunity in life that
To
you,
do the stuff
yeah,
that
to
you
open
want to
doors.
do.
That's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and as I said, like that 5 steps to success is crucial. It's because when you put that into your own goals, like you say, you have to reevaluate your goals every year. That's my own personal opinion. When I reevaluate, because my goals change all the time. My goal next year is for my daughter to pass year 3. She's in year 3. She's already passed year 3. She's doing year 4 work. My goal as a parent for her is just so she can go through that transition of year 3 and be okay. That's my own personal goal. With finance, my goal is just to get on top of my finance. My story is I'm struggling, but my personal goal is I have to believe that is capable. My dream is okay. I'm gonna be okay with money. My belief, the second step, belief. I have to believe that it is possible, and the action. I cannot say it but not do it. You have to do it.
Yes.
And then when you do it, you have to be focused on your dream. You can't, wobble and say, and question yourself. And then once you do put all those, then you become successful within yourself. And when you're successful in yourself, you're happy.
Yes.
And this is not what everyone wants in this world. No matter what their happiness is, that's what success is happiness. That's what, in my own theory, that's happiness. I want to wake up happy. I want to go to sleep happy.
And that's where, I guess, the 3 books that I mentioned before, it is a common occurrence.
Yeah, what are those
Yeah.
3 books again? It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Rich Dad Poor Dad,
That is
Robert
the best
Kiyosaki.
book.
Robert Kiyosaki, Donald Trump, How to Kick Ass,
How to
Yeah.
Kick Ass. Okay.
and also Steve McKnight, How to Buy 170 Properties in 3.5
Steve
years.
McKnight.
And the thing is, they're all entrepreneurs.
That's right. So,
That is the craziest
and that's why I said at the beginning of the show was when I read that book, especially Steve's, I had all these ideas 15 years ago.
Yeah.
The only difference is when I read the book, I said, this guy literally read my brains. But you know what, there's a difference? He put action and I
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah.
And so that's why I went from 5 days a week down to 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Because I said, no, it's time to put action.
That's
action.
right.
And that's
Yeah.
the third step to success is action.
Okay, Renee's got a question for you, Bing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These days, beside needing a deposit to get a home loan,
Yeah.
the lenders are actually asking for a regular savings
Pattern.
pattern.
Yes.
And they want money from your paycheck every time you receive it into a bank account that you don't touch.
Yes.
Most people don't know that, and they can't get a loan until they set something like that up.
That's why usually that's how my business is. I see the person at the beginning of the journey and I tell them that. So a lot of the times I might see a client and it may be 12 months before they can buy. So I will tell them, okay, you've got no money, you've got no deposit, but this is what you got to do. You've got to save, have a plan, save a bit of money, try to not spend too much, have a focus, and then in 12 months' time come back. Whereas some people might think, okay, well, I don't think of a plan, and then all of a sudden walk down to the mortgage broker and say, oh, I want a loan. and then they find out, oh, I haven't got this, I can't borrow. So reality-wise is, if you want to borrow, you should get some advice, understand what you need, and then work towards that goal. Then don't feel that you've got to be at somewhere before you can speak to that person.
Right. If you've already got a deposit ready, or if you want to refinance your home loan, how much savings do you need to set aside each paycheck?
Okay, so if
is it a percentage or an amount?
No, look, if you're refinancing, then you've got equity, then you don't need to save. So pretty much you've got the savings there already. If you're looking at purchasing, if you've got existing properties, then you don't need to show to save. If you've got 20% deposit, then you don't need to show that you need to save, like at certain lenders. It's only when you're borrowing at 10% or lower than 20%, it's got the lender's mortgage insurance, an insurance that the bank takes if you've got less than 20%. Then the bank will require you to have a savings plans. There are certain lenders like NAB, if you've got 10%, then they don't need to see the savings plan. As long as you've got the 10% deposit, then they'll be able to do it. So that's why if you speak to a broker, then say for example, you've come to me and you said, oh, look, I've got 10% deposit, I haven't got the saving, I can't show for the savings plan. I'll say, okay, well, that's fine. If you've got the 10% deposit plus stamp duty, we can go to NAB. NAB doesn't need a savings plan. They just want to see if you've got money to complete the transaction. However, if you didn't know that, you might go to ANZ or another or ING or another lender, and they'll go, well, have you got the savings plan? Because you've applied and you haven't got the savings plan, then they'll say no. And all of a sudden you'll think that every lender has that same policy. Whereas when you speak to me, I'll say, no, look, this is the only lender that we can go to, because you haven't got this particular, this is the item, so this lender will be able to help you with the loan because you don't have this particular item. So each lender has their own policies, and each lender has their own niches. So like I said, they have markets huge, and each lender targets a certain market. Now if you're going to a lender that's swimming downhill and you want to swim uphill, then you're never going to get there. But if you go to a lender that's swimming downhill and you're going to swim downhill, then it's very easy. So it's not, the answer is not a one-stop solution. That's why, like you brought this case up, this is like a solution problem. So this is not a interest rate question. It's not, oh, well, who's the cheapest rate? It's like, okay, this is my issue. I want to get my loan. How can you solve it? And I will solve it for you.
Yeah.
So that's the type of service that we provide.
Yeah. So there's a lot to choose from. So that's where Bank Services from Positive Lending can help you to find you the right package, I guess. But is there anything else at all? Because really appreciate Bang's time here, and but there you have it, guys. And I have seen Bang at work. Okay, he's honest and he provides practical advice, and he has a lot of integrity at what he does as well. If you like more information, you can contact Bang at his website, www.positivelending.com.au, and you can get his details from there.
Or my number is 0414 406 887.
Yep, and that's 0414 406 887. Thanks so much for coming here. We hope that you can come join us again. And thank you to all our listeners. We hope you gained something valuable today. Go out and make things happen. Okay, remember to have belief and faith, yes, in what you do. And
anything is possible.
That's right.
If you put your mind to it.
Go for it. Yes.
Go for
Go
it.
for it. That's
don't
it.
let anyone stop you.
Yeah, don't let anyone say that you can't do it.
Because you can. There's no such word.
Yes, You just go for it, basically.
That's it. Go for it.
Action speaks louder than
And
words.
you need help with a home loan? Contact
Yeah.
Bang. Okay, so I hope you can join us next week on our health and lifestyle series. Take care, everyone, and back to Renee.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Back to Rachel.
Okay.